Hi, my name is Pam and welcome to today's session on stress. Now hopefully you've seen our film on anxiety, and if you have, why don't you come along and join and subscribe to the Active Communities YouTube channel. They've got some amazing resources on there and I think you'd really enjoy it. So today, as I say, we're going to talk about stress. And if you've watched the anxiety video, you'll know that my key goal throughout this series of 8 wellbeing programs is to really help you become your own little detective, to understand what you feel, how you feel, and how this affects you, picking up your own clues effectively. So, what is stress? Well, it's a really interesting question because we all experience it, but we tend to say, I'm stressed or I'm feeling stressed, without ever really examining what we mean by this. So stress can be caused by two things: an external event or a situation that is adding extra pressure to you, or the internal reaction to being placed in this situation, which then kicks in negative thoughts and feelings that you might have about yourself. So for example, I can't do this, or I have no idea how to do that. The same way our body deals with anxiety, when you feel stressed and under pressure, your body gets ready to deal with whatever those stresses are, or that threat is, real or not, by kicking in the stress response. So, remember we spoke about the body's early warning system when we talked about anxiety? Well, the stress response is the same: flight, fight, or freeze. And very similar to anxiety, what can cause stress depends to a large extent on what your perception is or how you see it. So stress is more damaging to us in situations where there is a lot of pressure, a lack of control, the pressure is unpredictable or intense, or there is a repeated session of emotional shocks. So something that's stressful to me might not faze you, or something that phases me wouldn't faze you. You might enjoy it. So we're all very different. And while some of us get terrified of getting up in front of people to perform, others thrive on the spotlight. So as our little detective, your job is to work out what causes you stress and how it affects you physically and emotionally, and then to notice how it can change your behavior. So things that can cause stress: friends, family, work, moving home, dealing with a bereavement, health issues, money worries. Now you might find yourself feeling irritable, aggressive, impatient, nervous, anxious, even afraid. And you might feel uninterested in life, feeling that you've lost your sense of humour, or even just not enjoying being yourself. Now, our heads can become a real bully when we're stressed, and we can have a lot of negative self-talk and set ourselves really high, unrealistic expectations. And these thoughts can lead to irrational thoughts. So you may find that physically you feel tired all the time, maybe grind your teeth, having chest problems, headaches, indigestion, feeling sick, even dizzy. And in terms of how we might behave, well, some people bite their nails, snap at others, avoid situations, worry constantly, eating or drinking too much, being tearful, finding it really hard to make decisions and to concentrate. So none of this is good. But does it sound familiar? Well, lots of our physical and emotional, and how we react to stress is sometimes the same as how we can react when we get anxious. And stress can be short term, whereas anxiety can linger, can take a bit longer. Now, the main message I want you to take from this is realizing that you have the power to take back control. Because when we're trying to control our feelings of stress or anxiety, remember, it's about how you look at something, okay? This can make a huge difference. If you think the danger is real, you will automatically react as if it is, and your body will get flooded with those stress hormones, which have that physical impact on us. So remember, the heart pounding, all the blood going to the major chest organs, therefore starving our brains of oxygen, which can lead to the dizziness. And all of this adds to our feelings of anxiety. So stress and anxiety are very closely linked. So how do we manage stress? Well, sometimes stress is made worse by how we react to it. So sometimes our behavior isn't the best. We rush about, we panic, we go at 100 miles an hour, and it just keeps our heads thinking there is a real danger. And again, floods our systems, and it keeps telling us that this is something we can't control. We have to slow down. And I know that's easier said than done, but if you just take a moment and think how you look at something and how you look at the worry and the anxiety and the pressure you're putting out yourself under, is actually making the situation worse, because it's keeping your body getting flooded with the hormones. And again, these hormones feel that the threat is real. So slow down. Focus on one thing at a time. If you can, make a plan of the tasks that are important. And look at the situation and think about it, the circle of influence and control. So what can you directly control in a situation? And what can you influence? And see anything that's left over that you can't put in the circle of control or influence, you have to let go. And if you take a step back and realize you can't do anything about it, so just let that go, because what happens is that when we keep worrying excessively, we're keeping our bodies in a state of permanent anxiety. And all of the physical and emotional impacts that can come with that. Make some time for friends and family and develop hobbies that can actually take your mind away from what you're stressed about. But be realistic with your expectations for yourself and of others, and remember, you're not superhuman. So when we're stressed and anxious, we sometimes can't see the wood for the trees. When we get stressed, we get very nasty negative thoughts that can make us feel even more anxious, and that's a vicious cycle. So managing our upsetting thoughts is a key technique in helping to catch and manage stress. So as your detective, try and identify what and how you talk to yourself. Watch the negative and critical self-talk. For example, I can't do that, or I'll never be able to do that because I'm too stupid. The detective in you will hopefully be able to hear this and send them packing. Now, when you feel stressed and we start to get anxious, it's because we're worried about something, or because we don't think we can do something, and we're going to get caught out. So you've heard of that imposter syndrome. The best way to prepare yourself is to breathe. Try and take a step back and get a little perspective. And if you feel your nerves, take a moment to breathe. Challenge the upsetting thought by giving yourself the antidote. I am good enough. It's okay to make a mistake. That's how we learn. And this won't last forever. Or I can do this. Sometimes writing things down and leaning on those around us can help. Set up a vision board about how you want your life to look. Put up pictures that make you happy and make you feel worthwhile. Now, we've got a whole session coming up on how to catch these negative thoughts, so don't miss that. And in next week's session, we're going to focus completely on how to manage stress and anxiety, since they're so closely linked. And I'll be taking you through a range of things that can help manage that. And these will also be on the Active Communities YouTube channel, so check it out. See you soon.